Well, hello, and welcome to the Lockhart Radio Podcast. Good morning. The day is July 27th, Saturday, 2024, and we're looking at a couple of things. I know, sometimes you can have folks around you, stuff that you don't, people that you don't necessarily have to believe all the time. You know what I mean? But I want to say this today. If you don't believe me, that's okay. We're going to let Twitter do some talking today. And not only are we going to let Twitter do some talking, we're also going to throw a few stories around that are true. I want to make sure that we understand something, completely understand it from the jump. I don't want you to vote for Biden's young lady, Miss Kamala Harris. I don't want you to vote for Mr. Naranga, Orange Man Trump. I don't want you to vote for anybody because I don't have a dog in that hunt. What I do want is for my people to be knowledgeable of what's good. That is my heart's desire. That's it. You see? So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at a couple of things that Ms. Kamala Harris has done to our community. I have to do this, you guys, because I'm going to say this. You all that follow this channel as well as the Lockhart Perspective know that my goal is to make sure that people's eyes are awake and they realize when they are being used by specific groups, how they will use information to pull you in and then they throw you aside after they take a hold of you and finish him or finish her. They take a hold of you, they grab you real close. They suck the life out of you. And after they suck the life out of you and they get what they need out of you, they finish you. This is that. This is what we're talking about this morning. So if you don't believe me, that's cool. But I need you to at least let Twitter or X do some talking. I want you guys to see the people that have been incarcerated and yet freed by the one Kamala, consort of Vishnu, has done. I want you to see the lives that have been destroyed. I want you to see the people that she in turn has also released or assisted to be released. I want you to see it with your own eyes. I want you to make your own decision. Please don't believe me. Don't trust nothing I got to say. Because starting in about 2019, 2020, I was saying a lot of stuff and a whole lot of folk chose not to believe me. Some of them are here, some of them ain't. You do you. I gained nothing from helping. I gain nothing now from sharing the truth with you. Now, truth is relative. It is relative, unfortunately. There's only one real truth, right? But in this case, in this context, it's relative. All I'm going to do is furnish you with information to learn for yourself, to look for yourself. We're going to start with a young man on X. Okay? We're going to start with a young man on X. And his name is George. All right? There you go. This is his name, George. Be Hizzy tweets. Cute. Let's get into this. Let's make it a little larger so that you can see it. And then we're going to go into what have happened. And I need us to wake up because it's us that has to wake up. We have to wake up. We cannot allow ourselves to be lied to anymore. Meet Caramad Conley, his tweet begins. A Black man who was wrongfully convicted of murder in 1989 after spending 18 years in prison. Exculpatory evidence completely cleared him. But Kamala Harris refused to set him free and took him back to trial. Conley said, quote, Kamala ruined my life, a lot of lives, closed quote, and described her as an opportunist. Conley was 40 years old when he was locked up in 1992. He was convicted and sentenced to serve 2 life without parole terms for the 1989 drive-by shooting deaths of Roshan Johnson and Charles Hughes. It took many years, But with the help of the Innocence Project and some lawyers, connections were found between detectives who had framed someone for murder in Conley's case. And Conley's case. The lawyers took his case back to the courts, and in 2010, Judge Marla Miller ruled that he had been wrongfully convicted and found that prosecution's star witness had lied on the stand, and the district attorney's office knew. In an interview after, the star witness, Clifford Polk, actually confessed he had made up the allegations that sent Conley to prison and admitted fear of being put away himself had driven him to do it. The judge ordered Conley to be released, but Kamala stepped in and took him back to trial in her last month as San Francisco DA. He says, quote, "Had Kamala not played those games, I would have walked out of prison and I was in straight home." Meaning, in the colloquial terms, the way he's saying it is, I would have been straight cleared. I would have been out at the house. That's it. I would have just been straight at the house. Camarad was ultimately cleared of all charges by a jury, in absolute devastation for Kamala Harris. It came out a few days ago that he's about to get paid $3.5 million from San Francisco for the injustice Kamala Harris caused him. Many such stories are like this. Shout out to the Innocence Project that's listed up here. The Innocence Project. If you guys have not gone to the Innocence Project website, there are a myriad of people, white, black, men, women, that this Innocence Project has worked to get people free that were wrongfully incarcerated. But this is the gentleman right here. Can you imagine how many people passed away in his time? Can you imagine how many birthdays? Heart-wrenching at best, because these are people. Now, Twitter went in after that. And we're going to look at some of what they had to say. Here we go. He should get more than 3.5 million. That's not enough. Well, the majority of that's going to be taken up. And I don't really think he even cares about the money aspect of it. I think he just wanted to be vindicated and exonerated. The money doesn't hurt, but we know he has a lot of lawyers and whatnot. Okay. Patrick Henry says, and I don't know what any of these say until we get to reading them because I haven't read them all, but I wonder if there are stats on how many black men she incarcerated, this gentleman asks. Did she do that at a faster clip than other DAs? Is she more racist than most DAs, the question asks. While Trump was working hard at pardoning black men wrongfully incarcerated, it looks like her career was built on jailing them. She should personally have to pay restitution, MH on Twitter says. Jennifer Ruth says, well, she's evil to the core. How can anyone support her? It's just appalling. Clint Smith, too much to believe anyone could do this to another person, but here we are. D. Riley on Twitter says, that's horrible. He should be out campaigning against her every day, his family too. Baby, I'm going to tell you something, D. That's not how we roll. Once we get out of that, we don't go on those type of campaigns. And the people that you see out doing that type of campaign are people who don't really get it. These folks, when this happens to people, they just want to go home. They just want to have a seat. They just want to shrink, a lot of them. There was something I saw the other day on TikTok where a young lady said that her brother had been held beyond his time. And then when he finally got out in California, there were no services available for him for all of the mental health trauma that he had gleaned from being incarcerated there in California under her. And she was weeping because he had passed away. He'd passed away. These are serious things. See, I want to show you some more. This right here. See, I put this up a few years ago And I put up the actual one and I have it right here. I'm going to show you guys, and I may take a hit for this. I will. I know I will, because there is music in the background of it. And so it won't be able to be monetized. But with that in mind, this young man suffered greatly, that you see right here on the screen. He suffered greatly. And what ended up happening with him, which you'll see here just in a few minutes, is he was framed. And he did everything that he could to become unframed. And nobody, especially this lady actually did everything that she could to make sure that he stayed where he was and that he was put where he was. All right? She made sure that he was put away. That's not cool. All right. So let's go on ahead and let's look at this. We're going to look at this first. And then after we look at this, I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to play the video. This person here, Dr. Interracial, is he and his wife. It's a black guy married to a white lady. His name is Dr. Interracial. It says, meet Jamal Trulove, a black man who was framed and falsely accused of murder by Kamala. He sat on death row for 6 years. 6 years. That's your child sitting there for 6 years. That's your child, mama, who want to vote for her because she's a black woman. That's your child. That's your son. You watched him play with his Legos and his blocks. You made sure on the first day of school for kindergarten that he was dressed up nice and cute, had his little backpack on, smiling, giving the camera a thumbs up when you say so. That's your son. You bought that PS1, PS2, PS3. That's your baby, mama, that you gonna vote for this woman for. I'm putting it down here where the cows can get it, like my sister Black Spring with Autumn's daddy used to say. I'm putting it down here. That's your baby, mama. Let's get into his story. And this is the story that I know that I'll take the hit for. But again, I'm going to try it again because I did it a few years ago. Put the story up and they were like, oh, ding. Can't monetize it. But really, here it is. Well, what's it all for? You know, what's it all for? It's just I feel sometimes like a voice out in the wilderness, but it's all good. It's all good. Here you go. Okay, I have to stop because of copyright rules. I have to make sure that we are using this as a commentary. And so he's basically laying it down for you, letting you know exactly what happened, how he felt, the fact that he had only seen her a couple of times. And I think that once we get to the bottom of this, you will see that not only did he only see her a couple of times, but she doubled down on some of this. So, and we're running the music in the background, hopefully, to mar out some of their music so that I don't get the hit that I feel like I'm about to get. Nonetheless, this is important information that not everybody may have seen. Now, this has been circulated a little bit more just recently than it was back when I first used it three or 4 years ago or whatever, 3 years ago. But it's still worth noting that this is a practice that this lady allegedly, okay, because I ain't got no money to be sued by. Yeah. But these are the instances where this woman has done these things, where enough people have said it. So let's get back in. Okay, so you see his story. There are several others. That's the heartbreaking part. This is not a stream to promote Trump. This is not. We will be using some of the Twitter feed that he has that goes in line with this only because of the articles that have been gleaned by his team and put on Twitter, X, okay? But this is not a pro-Trump live. This is an information live for all of those that say, hey, I'm voting for her because she's a Black woman. This is my responsibility to my own community. As an Indigenous woman, this is my responsibility. That is the reason why I am posting this. Please take from this that the information is what I'm trying to drive home. I don't want to promote any political party. What I want to do with those people who are watching is to ennoble you with information so that you can make an informed decision. This is the best thing that I can offer. All right? Because I've already let go of this dumpster fire. So let's get into the next portion. But I have to make sure that I let everybody know this is not something that is promoting one party or another. I need my sisters who have given over $1.5 million in 40 minutes to this woman's campaign to hear my heart. I need for the women who are saying, I'm voting for her because she's a Black woman. I need you to understand that irregardless if it was a blind, one-eyed, one-horned, blind, purple people eater, okay, or a quote unquote woman of color, or a quote unquote Black woman, does the gender and the color cover up the pain that has been endured by this man, the stories that you're going to see? Does color or alleged ethnicity or gender give license to what is wrong, both morally and ethically wrong? Please hear my heart. Here's the next one. This is painful to watch. It's painful to share. But I'm gonna give it one more go. So now you see that was his story that we stopped on, right? That was his story that we just looked at. Here's a few tweets. That's nasty. I'm frequently skeptical of innocent claims, but this one was so blatant as to be a betrayal of justice himself. I am not so certain that his compensation from the courts is sufficient, given that he spent a generation in prison. That's your child. That's your nephew, auntie, mama. Or that Harris should not be charged. This comes from Rig, and I don't want to say your name wrong. It looks like Trison. Yeah? At Rig Trison, Trysson. All right? These stories need to be shown from John Baker. Okay? You need to bring this man up at a rally. I don't even think you can find him anymore, because there was some tweets that had gone out that after this went, out a while back, there was some comments, a follow-up, and the page is gone now. You can't, and I've looked for him and I can't find him. If somebody else has found him, please let me know. Okay? Because it's disheartening at best. Disheartening at best. This is something that really pulled my heart. It says, a beautiful mosaic of Kamala Harris, made out of all the Black men that she locked up and kept in prison past their release date for jail. Never forget, for jail labor. I know that there were a couple of companies that were cell phone companies in California. I'm going to use that as an example. And there was some documents that I had years ago that were public at that time. I'm not even sure, and I'm not even sure if they've been, removed, redacted. I'm not sure about any of that, but I know that there was some documents that showed that she had conversations. I saw the email conversation chain where she was talking to some of these larger corporations, ensuring that some of the work that they had requested be done by the state of California's prisoners, be extended, not necessarily that the people would be extended, but that the work would be extended. Okay, not necessarily, these cell phone companies did not say they wanted the people's time to be extended, but rather they wanted to know if they would be able to extend or lend a hand to helping complete some of these processes that they had. Does that make sense? And I do remember the conversation. And then shortly after that is when you started hearing about people being kept beyond their release date. In other words, if you were supposed to be out in January, you did not get out until July. Okay, even if that was your date to leave. She kept them beyond that time. This is her. All right. And these people here are all of the people that they took their time and made a mosaic of. Now, is this a fact? I don't know. Because, see, to me, let's be honest, this person, this person, this person, it's all the same. They just took them and reduplicated them throughout here. All right. So, somebody here, Edward Francis II, says there needs to be a documentary. I doubt very strongly if it'll get any traction. All right. I doubt very strongly if it'll get any traction, but please go to this gentleman's page. And if you have a Twitter account or an X account and you want to follow him, his name is George at BEHIZY tweets is his page. Okay. All right. So now I did promise that we were going to juxtapose Trump's war room is what we're going to do. We're going to juxt that to that story and to those that we may learn more about coming up here. But let's just go on ahead and switch this screen out so that we can look at this together. We're not going to be before you long. I thank you guys for sharing your Saturday morning with me while I have my coffee. I hope that you have your tea and or your coffee or cocoa or whatever it is that you do in the morning. So I'm glad that you're with me. This says, meet Donovan Boone. So remember, we're juxting these stories, okay? We're juxtaposing the people that she kept in and the people that, according to reports, she assisted in getting out, all right? Boone was charged with invading the home of his ex-girlfriend and strangling her. Now, he goes on to say that Kamala Harris raised money to bail him out of jail. All right. Fox 9, I wonder where this story is. Fox 9. Let me look and see if we can find that, because if we can find a news article with this Fox 9 and put Boone's name in there, I'm not sure how many of them are. Mr. Leslie is here. Let's see, Fox 9, because I'd like to follow up this with that. All right, let's see. Maybe they've taken it down. You know, it's so funny how they have that power to just go in and say, hey, take this away, take that away. But wasn't this the one that was just being discussed on Forbes? There was a congressional hearing asking one of these folks who are supposed to be going in as a judge. She's a black gal from, is it North Carolina, South Carolina? Let me see. It was a story, and she was sitting there, and they were talking to her, and they were asking her all kind of questions. And she was saying, well, no, I didn't have anything to do with that part. I just had something to do with this part. Let's see here. I think this is it. Let's see if we can use it. Who is this? No. I don't want to use somebody else's clip of somebody else's clip. I need to use the original clip. But let me get it. I see. Here. Okay. Here we go. Well, I mean, they can't. Yeah, we're just going to use it. I don't know who this is, but we have to use it because it is what it is. Here you go. Let's, I'm going to come back and look at that in a second, but let's just go on here. So it just says that this is what she's done. All right. Somebody says here, it appears that Kamala worked very hard to keep innocent people in prison and guilty people out. The worst president in U.S. history could be only replaced by Democrats with someone even worse. Someone's quote there. What is this? Senator Katie Britt calls Kamala Harris weak and vulnerable following her. Okay, so this is going into another direction. But I do want to take a look at this. All right. Kamala Harris is now denying that she raised bail money for these people and the BLM rioters. I can't say their name. I don't feel like it. But she forgot to delete this. And yeah, she did. She did, because here, I want to show you this. I want to show you this. Mama, auntie, I want to show you this. Okay. It's too bad that they don't allow this to be shown all the time, because they really do come up with some pretty good stuff. I may not agree with all the antics, but hey, truth is truth and good is good. All right. So it shows here that this company, lied about this person helping to bail out people who did this and other these. Just work with me. Says that the mainstream outlet tried to paint this guy, Mr. Naranga, Orange Man, as the liar. Okay. It goes on to say an ex-community notes fact check called out CBS News Minnesota for posting a misleading story claiming that Mr. Naranga accused the woman of donating to a fund that bailed out dangerous people. The notice pointed out that Harris promoted the Minnesota Freedom Fund on her Twitter account amid the 2020 George Floyd BLM riots. Here it is. It says WCCO, CBS News, Minnesota. They say Trump falsely accuses Harris of donating to Minnesota Freedom Fund, bailing out these types of people. Okay? Now, readers added context. The accusation is not false, someone said here. Kamala has promoted MFF in the past, and her ex post supporting it is still active now. For now, it says. Context is written by people who use X and appear when rated helpful by others. So if I click this, you guys, it may lose and pop back over to my avatar. That's okay. I'm going to go on ahead and pick it up from there. So let's see. Yeah, we lost the avatar. Let me go back over here and put it where we're on the avatar. Let me put it back over here so now you guys can see it now that I've clipped, okay? Thanks for your patience, y'all. Okay, it's still here, okay? This is her page. I want to make sure that you guys can see that this is her page and make it a little larger. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. It says, and this is her page, if you are able to chip in now to the NM Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota. And here is their, what looks like their logo, donate to Minnesota Freedom Fund. And then it says from secure.actblue.com. Okay. Then let's look at a couple of tweets. Leftist leaders like Kamala are happily arranging for bail for looters, arsonists, and folks who attacked other Americans so they can get back out there and engage in more criminality. This is a quote from John Bett's Twitter page, X now, but Twitter at the time. He goes on to then add, the Dem leaders, their Hollywood buddies, are almost as bad as the criminals themselves. This gentleman, Steve Guest, says, well, I'm old enough to remember when Kamala Harris' top priority back in 2004 as San Francisco district attorney was to make bail in the city more expensive. Okay. It says here, Kamala Harris made increasing bail costs a priority as the San Francisco DA. All right. This story touched me only because, let me tell you why.
Hearing your frustration.
I'm going to let this play. But this story touched my heart because this lady's got like a boatload of gray hair like me. Okay. And it touched me. I'm going to set it up for you because what she's describing at this time of the recording was how the looting and the burning and the tearing up of her poor little sweet community is causing her pain. And she's literally crying because she has, and you'll see here, she's saying, hey, you know what? I live here and now they've messed it up. At this age, you're not trying to move nowhere else. At this age, you probably have it in good with your landlord if you don't own, and you know how to pay your rent and how to get around, and you can walk or catch the bus to locations. Please listen to this lady's heart.
And I would love for you to share them with the community right now because you and so many others are going through such a rough time. How was last night?
Scary. I live in the high-rise right back here, and I seen them as they came down Lake Street. But then they turned and started coming over here, and I'm sitting out looking out my window. And they went straight to Office Max, the dollar store, and every store over here that I go to. I have nowhere to go now. I have no way to get there because the buses aren't running. These people did this for no reason. It's not going to bring George back here. George is in a better place than we are. Last night, I'm going to be honest, I wish I was where George was, because this is ridiculous. These people are tearing up our livelihood. This is the only place I could go to shop. And now I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have anywhere to get there.
Okay, I had to let that play out because I totally get it. I totally get it. Because, like I just said a few minutes ago, at a certain age, you're not trying to go buy a car. She says she catches the public transportation. At a certain age, you're like, look, I'm cool. I'm able to live off of, $2,000 a month. I'm able to live at that time, maybe $3,000 a month. Maybe she gets some money assistance, or she worked as long as she could. Who knows what her situation is? But I do get her. I do get how she feels. And I do understand that. But this woman actually suggested that people help out, that they chip in. This is going to be a long couple of months for this lady, because there's no platform. She doesn't have a real platform. She's a part of the existing situation. And I have asked just recently how the existing situation can stand. I believe that if the individual who stepped away, and I'm going to use these loose terms, is no longer able to run, then how are they able to lead? And if they're not able to lead, and I have to use it in days, and because I don't want it to be specific. I don't want it to be name specific, because it doesn't matter who the person is. The fact is, if they're not able to run, how are they able to continue to lead? And if they're not able to continue to lead, the person who is now in that person's stead told us that they were. As a citizenry, as the public, we were told that that individual was fine. There was absolutely nothing wrong with him, that he would continue. And yet, no one budged on the 25th Amendment. I do believe that had that happened, there would have been a totally different scenario that we'd be looking at right now. Because even though I am not a Democrat, even though I'm not a Republican, I still have eyes to see. And the question that I ask is, people who voted for him deserve the opportunity to vote for somebody else? Do you realize that by allowing this to happen the way that they did, it's shoving down those individuals' throats who they want, not who the people want? Now, if I do speak on a political state or political stance at this moment, I'm going to do it simply to make a point. By not allowing the individuals to do what they wanted to do and choose somebody totally different or write in a totally different name, now they're going to be made accountable for what may happen after, if this individual does make it into office, and I feel like they will. Because there's been a lot of things that have been laid out before us over the last few weeks that shows us that's exactly what's about to happen. I cannot for a moment get out of my mind that memorandum that went out, the delegation of authority that went out, that the seated president gave to specific individuals that he passed his actual authority over. Shortly after that, he got sick. Shortly after that, he stepped out. Shortly after that, we got an individual who was a lot taller. I'll show you a video if you want to see it. He's huge. He's Anunnaki. He's towering over Jill in her tallest pumps. That's waving at people. There's something awry. Something's afoot. There are flies in the buttermilk. There are flies in the buttermilk. Who is minding the store? Who is running this joint? What's really going on? Netanyahu was supposed to be here on the 24th of July. He arrived 2 days before. She went on to see her sorors, alleged sorority sisters, and to speak at events. Okay? So we have to realize politically where the climate is putting us as a nation, and we have to be very responsible. It will be best for some to just stand back and watch with a real, true, open eye what's happening. It's so heavy on my heart right now that there is an absolutely off the chain video that I cannot put over here that will be on my Rumble channel, and it will be on my BitChute channel because I can't put it over here. But the fact that I'm trying to share with you right now is this is good at all. So let's go on ahead and let's continue to look at some of these situations. Like I said, Trump his people have pretty much laid it out here on this, what is the page called? Here we go, right here, Trump War Room. So we're going to go over here and we're going to flip back. Okay. And thank you to the person who just sent me a Cash App. Most High bless you. Okay. TM. That's all I'm going to say. TM. You did not give me permission to say your name, but I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay. All right. So let's see. So I'm going to hit enter here so that we can go back to this page that we're on. And that was Donovan Boone. All right. Now, oh, yes, I wanted to share with you guys the page that actually showed us where Ted Cruz was asking questions about this person, that Donovan Boone guy. All right. So let's go on ahead and let's just see this. Ted Cruz leaves Biden's nominee shaking when he exposes her despicable past actions. This is what this says. So let's take a gander at that, because this is what you see here. All right. Kamala Harris and Sherrod Brown. Okay. We'll just oh, it's really a show, don't you guys say? Let's see who we have here. Stephanie Martin says, can you help explain how the Democratic Party can take money donated for Joe and transfer it to Harris? Do the delegates and super delegates make the decision? Well, yeah, they do make the decision, but I'm going to say this. There's a lot of things that they're telling us that's going on right now that none of us really know for sure. None of us really know for sure at all what's really happening right now. Okay, we just know what they're telling us. Even when I brought to you guys the other night that all this money had been taken and the black women had done this Twitter, not even a Twitter, excuse me. It was a Telegram call and a Zoom call and all this other stuff. They had taken and obtained all this money. And I was saying, hey, if you guys can raise that kind of money, then why don't you help to fund, your community, help with the children, even Head Start, put something together. If you can do this, it proves that there is money within our community that could be taken care of. I don't even know if there's any real validity in that. I mean, they can say anything that they want. You know what I mean? If they start to say something over and over again, then yeah, people will believe it. People will believe it. Please share this out, you guys. If you have not already hit the like button, please hit the like button, because I see we're losing some people. And the only way that picks back up is once you guys start to interact with the chat. Hit the like button just to support the channel. That's something that's free. The ads, somebody just said that there was a Kamala ad. I can't help that. I don't even know how that can happen. But I do have some information, GA Bunny, that I'll be putting up. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's go on ahead, you guys. Let's finish this up because I don't want you guys to be here more than an hour. You got stuff to do. It's a Saturday. So I really want to find this. I don't want to use this person's page. One of my mods, can you please find for me the Ted Cruz? It's actually the older gentleman. That's the guy that I like. It's the older one that really rips into people. And he's so funny. I think it's a Kennedy is his last name is Kennedy. He's funny. They're all funny. They're all funny because they can't change anything. So it's John Kennedy talking to the Deandra Gist. John Kennedy, John. Let's see if we can find that. Good. I think I can use it here. Where's John Kennedy? She's old pizza. Well, this is his page. So hopefully we can use it. Okay, this Cory Booker. Please don't be talking to Cory Booker. I don't want to hear him. Did I say that out loud? All right. All right, here you guys go. Hey, Starfire. It's good to see you, Princess. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's get it. Okay. All right, let's go.
Senator Booker, Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Judge, congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to try to understand the facts on some of these cases.
Yes, sir.
The Albertus Lewis case. He shot his girlfriend in the head. Is that correct?
Senator, as I stated, I'm not sure if you were in here earlier, that case is...
Okay, so this is not from California. I think it's important still to see because this is somebody that this particular administration is attempting to get cleared at this particular time. Okay, so I think it's relative to show that, hey, you know what? They're trying to line up everything. They're trying to rewrite everything as it relates to the Supreme Court, and then they're trying to put these types of justices or these types of judges in. So I think it's relevant, right? So let's go ahead and finish listening to this.
Still pending. He's not been convicted of any of those charges. And so I have to be really careful in how I frame my question.
Did he shoot his girlfriend in the head?
Senator, based on those are the allegations of the charge. Yes.
So you're saying he didn't shoot his girlfriend in the head?
He has not been convicted of anything, is my understanding. And I know it's a very old case. It's 2017.
Well, when you granted him bond, did you think he had shot his girlfriend in the head? He was charged with shooting his girlfriend in the head, wasn't he?
Thank you, Senator.
Welcome.
Those are the allegations. When he initially appeared before me,
okay.
I denied his bond based on everything.
Let me start over. Okay. Mr. Lewis was charged and arrested, so presumably there was probable cause, with shooting his girlfriend in the head and putting her body in a wheelchair and dumping her outside the hospital. Those were the allegations. Is that right?
I believe those were the allegations, yes.
Okay. And you gave Mr. Lewis bond. Is that right?
No, that's incorrect, Senator. I denied his bond. When he appeared before me in July of 2017.
So you didn't give him bond? He didn't release him?
I denied his bond. It was 2 years
Did you ultimately release him?
2 years later, after the state violated the
Did you grant his bond? I'm just trying to understand the facts.
Yes, sir. 2 years later, after
you granted his bond.
When he initially appeared before me, I denied the bond. It was 2 years after that I granted a bond.
You did grant the bond
after the violation by the state of the court order to try his case and discovery rules.
And then he went out and tried to kill 2 sheriff's deputies while using a baby as a human shield, allegedly. Is that right?
Those are the allegations in the other case, yes.
Okay. Would he been able to do that if you hadn't let him go?
Thank you, Senator.
You're welcome.
When he appeared before me, I denied his bond. he appeared before me again, at which point
And you let him go.
the state violated the order of the court.
But I'm just
And I
trying to
said a
understand the facts.
sufficiently
You
high
let him
bond.
go. If you hadn't have let him go, then he could not have tried to kill 2 sheriff's deputies using a child, as a human shield. Factually, is that correct?
I'm not sure, Senator.
Oh, I think you are. Let me ask you about Kelly Honeywell. You remember that name?
Senator, I did not have any involvement in that actual case, but I am familiar with what you're referring to.
Okay. You remember Troy Stevenson?
Yes.
All right. Troy Stevenson was arrested, allegedly, for shooting Kelly Honeywell, killing her, murdering her at a bakery. Mr. Honeywell was arrested. And Mr. Honeywell allegedly was a member of a gang. He owned guns and he did drugs. Okay. You granted Mr. Stevenson bail. Is that right?
I didn't in that case, I did not set bail bond in that case when he was charged with murder.
You didn't let him go?
I did not set the bond on the murder charge.
Who did?
I don't know who's
Well, how did he get out of jail?
Are you asking about the murder charge?
What I'm asking, and I think you know what I'm asking, Mr. Stevenson allegedly was arrested for shooting this bakery worker in the head, and he was granted bail. He was let out. You didn't grant the bail?
No, sir.
Who did?
My understanding is his bond was denied in that case on the murder case. Mr. Stevenson, I believe, after trial, was found not guilty of those charges. But I did not set the bond on the murder case. I did not try the case on the murder case. I did not set the bond on the murder case.
Okay. I think I'm out of time. Thanks, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So we see
On
that.
Tuesday, Louisiana Senator John
Let me
Kennedy
pull this
questioned.
back. I'm going to pull that back. Thank you so much, Christina Laud, for the super sticker today. I appreciate you for supporting the channel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I wish I had some music to play for you as well as the other folks. I appreciate you. So as we look at that, it just tells us that they are really trying to pack these different courts out with individuals who don't necessarily have the best interests of the citizenry at heart. Here is right here. I want to show you guys Biden's announcement as it relates to this right here. Let's see, Biden explains his decision to exit. But is this the one where it talks about him trying to shorten up? He just wants to make sure that they are getting all of this stuff out here for the getting everybody under control for U.S. Supreme Court reform. I think I'm going to show this to you first, and then I'll show you him talking. All right. That's what we'll do. We'll let you see this article first, and then this feeble AI or whatever this is. I don't know what is really going on, but I'm going to tell you that I truly and honestly do believe that there's a lot of wizardry going on. There's a lot of wizardry. There is a lot of witchcraft. I believe this, and I could be wrong, but I'm just giving you my personal opinion. All right. As an employee of the Felicia Lockhart Group, LLC. I'm an employee. I work there. They can fire me, right? So I'm just giving you what I think. This is nothing dealing with the channel. This is just me. This is what I think. So I'll take the responsibility. But nonetheless, let me give you a window and we'll look at the story. And then after that, we'll go ahead and we'll close this out by listening to Biden's speech. Okay. Again, thank you, Christina. All right. So it says here, making sure that you guys have it. Do you? Yes, you do. Biden to announce the plans to reform the United States Supreme Court, a report. U.S. President also to seek constitutional amendment to limit immunity for presidents and various office holders. Joe Biden will announce plans to reform the United States Supreme Court on Monday, Politico reported, citing two people familiar with the matter, adding that the United States president was likely to back term limits for justices and an enforceable code of ethics. Biden said earlier this week during an Oval Office address that he would call for reform of the court. He also is expected to seek a constitutional amendment to limit immunity for presidents and some other office holders, Politico reported. In the aftermath of a July Supreme Court ruling that presidents have broad immunity from prosecution. Biden will make the announcement in Texas on Monday, and the specific proposal could change, the report added. Justice Elena Kagan on Thursday became the first member of the Supreme Court to call publicly for beefing up its new ethics code by adding a way to enforce it. Quote, "The thing that can be criticized is, rules usually have enforcement mechanisms attached to them, and this set of rules does not," Kagan said at an annual judicial conference held by the Ninth Circuit. More than 150 judges, attorneys, and court personnel attended, as well as others attended. The court has been considering adopting an ethics code for several years, but the effort took on added urgency after it was reported last year that Justice Clarence Thomas did not disclose luxury trips he accepted from a major Republican donor. Now, I'm going to come back to that after we complete this. The public confidence in the court has slipped sharply in recent years. In June, a survey for the Associated Press Newark Center for the Public Affairs Research found that 4 in 10 U.S. adults have hardly any confidence in the justices, and 70% believe they are more likely to be guided by their own ideology rather than serving as neutral arbiters. Now, the purpose for me saying I wanted to come back to this right here was because yes, he more than likely did take all of that. He may have taken luxury trips. They may have given him nice, wonderful cigars. For those of you who know me, I like a nice cigar and I like a nice bourbon. He may have taken some of those. They may have given him some bourbon. They may have given him cigars. He probably did take all of that and more. But hey, you know what? I believe that that's a general practice out there. I believe that even though you and me, the regular people, we know it ain't cool or kosher, I believe that practice is well known there. That's a well-known practice to take stuff from people and you shouldn't, right? So I think that they should all be exposed. Since none of us are really going to be in any one particular person's corner, expose everybody. Maybe that'll lead to everybody being gone bye-bye. But nonetheless, they'll all be exposed, right? Okay, the next thing is the public confidence. I want to talk about that. And I want to tell you that the reason why the public confidence in the court has slipped sharply in recent years is possibly because all they've done is beat down the Supreme Court in the most recent years. And by they, I mean those who have been in office. And it doesn't matter if they've been people on the right or people on the left. The side doesn't mean, it doesn't matter if it's right or left. The side doesn't determine if what they've done is right. It is wrong to have people who are put in the Supreme Court, and then you have presidents, and then you have congressmen, and then you have, people that are attacking them the way that they've been attacking them. And I'm not talking about their freedom of speech, because everybody has the right to say what they feel, or we do for a moment. So that's not the issue. I think that them pushing things like rioting it out. For example, since we're dealing with Kamala, let's just use this as an example, okay? For example, what they've done is let's use her. She has constantly berated the former president and stated, he made them get rid of, the whole abortion deal. He did this. Now he is going to make it the law of the land that he's going to do this and he is going to do that. First of all, when the Supreme Court decided to remove that, they should have never had it in there in the first place. What goes on in DC is supposed to be the business of DC and the United States. It's not supposed to be, oh, we're going to intervene and overrule states, because there's still the ability for the state to decide what it is that they want to do. So all I've heard him say is that he is happy that it went back to the states. And as a matter of fact, they just recently removed it from their platform, the RNC. Okay, they removed it. They don't even want it up anymore. Right? All right. So now GA Bunny says something funny here. Yeah, GA Bunny, the reason why I decided not to even deal with that today was because it's been dealt with ad nauseum. I've said it so many times. What I do want to show, now that you bring that up, to add that to this, because I really hope that after this, I don't see a whole bunch of stuff from people that I know being posted, talking about, this woman. Does anybody know who attended hold on, let me finish this point. Trump and anybody else who was saying the states have the right to determine what they're going to do. I need you to understand. Relate to that. Gee whiz. I don't know how that happened, but this phone just does what it wants. It literally says this phone. So they don't have the right to tell the states anything. The Supreme Court has not the right to tell the states a thing. The Supreme Court needs to kick anything that comes back to be made as a decision for a state back to the state. The states decide now if it's illegal if you do this, this, and this here. The states say, okay, no, you cannot just decide now you're going to have a baby. You're going to get up on the table. And when you push it out, oh, I don't want it, within 10 minutes or within 5 minutes, up, get rid of it. What? I'm going to show you guys something. I promised we'll be done in 15 minutes, you guys. I promise. I keep dancing, but there's a purpose. So let me show you this. And I want to ask you guys, if you guys recognize this, tell me if you recognize this. And if you see this, tell me if you know what it means. Because I posted this a few weeks ago, and I see that nobody really made a comment on it. And I was thinking to myself, do people know what this is that I just put up? Do people understand what it is? Let me show you this thumbnail. And it's just the thumbnail. It's only the thumbnail. Let me give it to you. Here it is. And I hope that you guys can see it. Yeah, you can see this. Let me show you guys this thumbnail. Please share this out because you need to see this. Because even though we think this lady is crazy, that she's dumb, that she doesn't know a lot, this lady is a whole lot more equipped than you think. Do you remember this? If I click it, unfortunately, I won't be able to show you because it'll automatically go into video mode. But do you remember this? Look at that. This right here, the yellow and orange one. If I make it bigger, will it just allow me to see that one? Let's see. We may lose it altogether. But do you guys see this? Can you guys see the yellow and orange thumbnail? Somebody in the chat, tell me, who is that in the upper left-hand corner? They've conformed it, they've converted it to a quote-unquote god. And they call it Molech, but it's actually the bull of heaven. It's a god, but it's the bull of heaven. Crazy name, right? Look at this woman. Do you see this thumbnail? Put a 1 in the chat, you guys, because it's really important that you know that she's not as dumb as people make her out to be. She's more like a cauldron with a top on it. A pot with a top on it that's boiling really slow. Then after it slow boils, that top begins to pop and move on the top, move on the top, move on the top, move on the top. Molech was where they would take their babies and sacrifice them to. The only thing you've really heard her talk about whenever she does speeches, besides those weird things you think she's saying that sound crazy, hey Sandy, hey Ariel, hey Vine Dressers Branch, okay, The only thing that you guys hear her say, which you think she sounds crazy, which really she's not crazy, she's actually casting spells. Okay? The only thing you've ever heard her really talk about is how she feels about the abortion rights that she says that that the new incoming president, a new incoming president, would do if he was elected. That he's going to do this and he's going to do that and he's going to make it the law of the land. He doesn't have the option to do that because presidents don't write law. But the people that she's talking to, people that she's aiming and targeting, those individuals don't know that. They just think that she's right because they feel like if she's saying it from a podium, then maybe she's onto something. Okay, maybe she's onto something. But do you see this woman's hands on every one of those clips that I have put together there? And there were more than that. I just couldn't fit any more on the thumbnail. That's 4 occurrences where her hands are to the side of her, just like the bull with all of those furnaces in the chest on the front of that thumbnail. I'm not the best at thumbnails. I try my best. Sometimes you see I don't even put one up, but that is who she is. That is who she is. That is what she plans. Look at where her daddy went to school. Where did her daddy go to school? Where did her daddy go to school? Somebody gonna say, oh, Stanford. Okay, might be right. He did. Where else did he go? University of London, ladies and gentlemen. Who else went there? Who else went there? It's got a global reputation. Who else went there? Let's look. Let's take a gander. Give me 10 minutes, you guys. We'll be done in 10, I promise. All right, let's see. Who went there? Let's put in his name. Okay. There we are. Education. I'm going to take you to this. I'm not really a Wikipedia fan, but sometimes it does okay. Okay, sometimes it does okay. All right, here you go. This is her father. Right here. Donald Jasper Harris is a Jamaican economist and a professor emeritus at Stanford University. I'm not going to say American. I'm not. Known for applying post-Keynesian ideas to development economics. He is the father of Kamala Harris and Maya Harris, who, by the way, works for Hillary Rodham Clinton. Maya Harris does. Okay? She's an attorney. Let's look at him and the school that he went to. I just said here, there it is, education. Academic background. It's important. Make it bigger. There you are. Can you see that? I think you can. His academic background. University of London. He obtained his bachelor's there. But let's look at the University of London. And let's look at some of their alumni. Let's see. Do they have it? Do they have any alumni? Let's find it. Let's see. Because, you know, the people that go to certain types of schools, their alumni tells you a lot about, you know, who they are and what they teach, in my opinion. Hold on a second. Let's see what we can find. Okay, let's go. Oh, I know how to figure this out. Here we go. University of London alumni sitting right there. The following people spent time at the University of London as either teaching staff or students in 2015. There were a total of around 2 million University of London alumni across the world. Until the year 2008, all colleges within the federal collegiate system solely awarded University of London degree. From 2003 and onward, some colleges received their own degree awarding powers. However, these were held in abeyance until 2008, when a number of colleges began to award their own degrees. Let's see, who are some of the people who went there? Presidents and prime ministers, some politicians and heads of state. I'm going to mispronounce some names, but let's go for it, shall we? Clement Attlee, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. H. Asquith, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Ramsay MacDonald. Margaret Thatcher. Tony Blair. Hussein Allah. A.N.R. Robinson, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago from 86 to 1981. Wouldn't that be reversed? See, that's what I'm saying. Natalie Germain, Amodio Arias, whoever. But the name that I'm looking for, if they haven't already taken it down. Where is his name? Oh, other prominent political figures is Youssef Hussein Abdi, Alex Chalk, Billy Strachan, Teresa Coffey, the Secretary of Environment, Food, and Rural Affairs. Where is his name? Where is his name? Oh, wow. Looks like his name has been removed. Please don't say that. Please don't say it. I don't see it, but it's here, and I'm going to find it. And you guys that can will hang out with me. Okay, clergy, religious figures, other religious figures, Nobel Peace Prize, literature, biologists, botanists. Immunologists. Here, let's just do a find and see if we can find them. There you go. There's more than one way to skin a cat. See this cat? See his name right there? Financial. See that? Speculator and philanthropist. You see his name? So they have them listed under what? These like world leaders or something? Oh, business people. Okay. I like it. Business people. That's where they have them listed. I hope you guys are with me. Do you see that name? Did you see the name that I just showed you? Okay, let's go back to the name I just showed you. The business people that went to the University of London. These are the alumni, all right? Let's see if there's any other notable names we know. Klaus Hyman, the entrepreneur and founder of Naxos Records. Let's see. Chu Chun Sing, Singapore Airlines. Okay, that's nice. Colin Dreyer, the CEO of Jones Lang LaSalle. Winston Wong, Sir Richard Sykes, Keith Duckworth, Ko Boon Hui, George Soros, financial speculator and philanthropist. Stephen Bernard Streeter. Okay. All right. There's some economists in here. This is where her father went to school. Yep. That's where he went. Journalist Anita Anand, Martin Bashir. I don't know how to pronounce this other name. Anita Ruhardi Arrow, a British journalist and a filmmaker known for his 2011 feature documentary, How to Start a Revolution. Yeah, baby. Mm-hmm. Cyril Kenneth Bird, CBE, known by the pen name Fugazi, was a British cartoonist. Lisa Brennan Jobs, daughter of Apple Incorporated co-founder Steve Jobs. Where she went to school. Sana Buka is a Pakistani news anchor who appears in primetime news talk. She is known for hosting a show called Liken. Daniel Ford. Okay. He's an American journalist and historian, son of Patrick and Ann Ford. All right, cool. Went to good school, huh? All right, who else? Eleanor Harrison. Who's Charles Franklin Hildebrand? His page doesn't even exist. Bernard Levin was an English journalist. Okay. Michael Monroe Lewis is an American author and financial journalist. He has also been contributing editor to Vanity Fair since 2009, writing mostly business, finance, and economics. Okay. That's cool. That's real nice. Judges and lawyers. How cool. How cool is that? Yeah. Where a person goes to school is very important. Where a person is reared or trained is very important. The alumni speaks volumes. Where people used to go to school and the people who went there as well speaks volumes, because sometimes it could be considered like a club almost. You know what I mean? It can be considered like a club when you consider where people go to school. It's like where people studied is the people that they know, and they learn them, and they meet them, and they go to where they go. Look, this is just the dude is a Marxist. I'm trying to say it as nice a way as I can without anybody going, "Oh my God, I'm gonna alarm, push the button." It's a crazy thing. He's a communist. So what do you think she is? I'm talking to Sister and Annie. What do you think she is? Her mama and daddy was not born here. They were not born here. That girl was raised in Canada. She went to elementary school in California, so they may say. But for a good chunk of her life, at least 7 years, she was in Canada until she graduated high school. And you and I both know from 79 that she and I are the same age minus a month. From 79 till the time we graduated in 1982, she was in Canada. That's like 13, 14 years old, up to 17 graduating, 18, okay? Because that year we turned 18. Do you realize the amount of information and what shapes you at that age group? She wasn't shaped by Oakland. She was shaped by the Canadians for a purpose, for a reason. Everybody's tap dancing around this chick. They tap dancing. Trying not to give you what it is. Her dad was a Marxist. Her people are Marxists. And Karl Marx had a whole lot of dudes that he believed in. He had a whole lot of weird ways of believing. I think that's it for me. I don't think I can say any more. And I just really hope that the people that should understand what I'm saying catch it, because you guys are the ones that are running around saying that against all hope, this is who you're voting for. There's nothing else that anybody else can tell you. You guys are thinking it's a doggone joke. The funny piece is that, yeah, a lot of us feel like, your vote doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't really matter. They're going to do what they want. No, it matters, because it tells us exactly where your head is. It tells us exactly where your head is. It tells us exactly what you're willing to accept. and you become dangerous after that. And the reason why you become dangerous is that after that is because it's just like the movie and the book 1984. Yeah, you become dangerous because then you got family members running around telling on people because of what they think they're supposed to go and say. And they don't even realize they're destroying themselves because the machine cares nothing about you. The machine doesn't care about you. As a matter of fact, I would not be surprised if this particular regime of individuals, because this is not your great grandmama now Democratic Party. This ain't your grandmama's Democratic Party. This is a group of individuals that have come here to take over this place, and they're doing it. It's theirs to take if they choose, but you need to understand how to move around and maneuver here. You better get yourself a hijab in a minute, if you know like I know, because there's some stuff spiritually that I see that's headed. Can't lay it out, but I will tell you, you better get something so you can blend in, baby. You better learn how to blend in. I'm going to just leave that right there. But it is important to understand that the goal is to come here, take over here, and then you need to do some research on who this group of individuals is, who they are. You need to look. This is a portion of one of Noah's kids. This is a portion of one of these people that are here that are trying to do this. You wonder why they keep popping up and everywhere you go. It's like you can't see one American and then all of a sudden you get one of them married to you. Like, what is this? The question I have is, okay, if she's a black woman, what is J.D. Vance's wife? Is that a black woman? If that's a black woman, then what is Nikki Haley? They're the same ethnicity. Is that a black woman? Oh. Okay, well, if that's a black woman, then what is the other chick? The one that was jacking Kamala up against the rings when they were running a few years ago. What is her name? What is her name? I can't remember. Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah. They from the same place, from the same country. Is that a black woman? Is that a black woman? Too much? Is that too much? Am I asking too much? Tulsi Gabbard. Is that a black woman? Black woman, I'm asking you. Auntie, I'm asking you. How about the girl that was on that show, Mindy? Her name is Mindy. Her name is Mindy. Is it Mindy Singh? Is that it, Sandy? Is that her name? Her name is Mindy. Let me look her up. Her name is Mindy. She's an Indian actress. Let's see. What is her name? There she is. Mindy Kokalingam. That's her name. Let me show you. Since we so stupid and running around touting what somebody makes us say and tells us. Hey, auntie, mama, first cousin them. Is that a black woman? Is that a black woman? Is that a black woman? Yeah. Here we go. Since we over here. I don't know how to spell the chick's last name. We're going to try. It's going to tell us. Okay, that's Tulsi Gabbard. Thank you for correcting me. Let me click that because I don't want to have her name up there wrong. But Mama Neil, Auntie, Ain't he? Is that a black woman? Is she black? I'm not going to call you stupid. I'm not going to say, hey, stupid. Is she black? I'm not going to say that to you. I'm not going to say it. But is she black? I hope this stays up where people can answer my question, because I think I'm a bit exhausted. I'm more than exhausted. But I'm here. I'm here. Yeah. I'm exhausted, but I'm here. So let's go on ahead and let's put up Nookie. Okay. Okay. They're from the same spot. They're from the same place, Einsteiner. I don't care. She a black woman. I'm going to vote for her. Is she a black woman? You won't? Is she black? They're both Indian. You're not going to vote for her? You didn't vote for her? You wasn't rooting for her? No, you wasn't? Huh? Huh? I ain't stupid. Yeah, just take a gander. Take a gander. Mm-hmm. Yeah, take a gander. Okay. Yeah. But you see that skin tone? Tulsi Gabbard at least got enough decency to not try to play the black card. I know people I went to school with in Carson, California, who was raised Samoan, and they never ran around saying they was black, but they looked just like us. They look just like us. But the question is, because the coloring makes you think that they you, is that the way it's supposed to be? Mm-hmm. Nikki Haley was born Ni Ranhawa, 1972. Mm-hmm. I just want us to stop it already. I just want us to stop it already. That's all. I just need us to quit it. Just knock it off. Now, this cat, J.D. Vance. Yeah, that's what I meant. Is she a black woman? Is she a black woman? It's a question. And this question is for Auntie now. This man ain't safe. People can go out there and do what they want. I'm so glad I'm not voting for none of these folks. I'm so glad I'm not on the side. I'm so glad I'm looking at the actual character of the individual to see exactly what their motivation is. This guy, they had him make sure he grew that beard so that it took that look off of him. I don't care about the book. Everybody got a story. I got, 30 people in the chat right now? All y'all got a story. Every one of y'all got a story. Okay? All right. And she got a whole lot of nerve. Where her mama? Christina. She got a whole lot of nerve saying anything. She needs to be as quiet as possible, because there's some of us that got a whole lot of research on homegirl. She might want to hush because I'm just waiting for her to say the right thing to get me off the bench. Right now, I'm back to the bench where she's concerned. I'm waiting for her to say the right thing, Christina, because then I'm coming off the bench, baby. I'm coming up off that bench about this chick you got right there on the screen. She has a lot of nerve saying anything. Where her mama? Where is her mama? How is she able to be married to the man that she's married to when where her husband's daddy name is from, they have to have a piece of family lineage in there? Pay very close attention to what I said. My sweet love, my sweet friend, and I talked about her, I guess maybe 5 or 6 months before Bettina passed away. We talked about this very name you got on that screen. I told her, I don't trust this chick. Something about her I don't like. She rattled off a few things and I said, aha, huh. Subsequent to her passing, I've been doing a lot of digging. Question is, where her mama? If the man she's married to comes from a lineage where they have to hit the like button for those of you who are new in here, please. Please. If the man that she's married to over there, because her husband's father is I believe he's a baron. He's one of those cats that work in he's part of the parliamentary procedures type of stuff over there in the UK and London or wherever. They're supposed to marry people of their own ethnicity bloodline, of their own bloodline. Let me correct that, of their bloodline. Meaning they have to have at least, 6th removed, 5th removed. They got to have some relation to one another. Her husband's father is that. But you can only find her daddy. You can't find her mama. You know why? Because she ain't us at all. Her mama is somebody across the pond. Same way Fannie Willis's mama. Somebody across the pond. They allow them to be absent. You don't get to see their mama. You see the daddy, you see the daddy's paternal, you see the paternal grandmother, but you're not going to see her mama because she is a plant. That's why some of us in this field stand back and watch her. We just looking at each other and we on the bench. But she better be straight. Because if she don't be straight and it's time for me to come off the bench, baby, I'm coming. I'm telling you now, I don't like her politics. I don't like how people don't realize that you're not going to get a voice in this type of field on mainstream unless there's something to you or unless the Most High God opened up a door for you to stick your head in right quick, say what you got to say, change some people's mind, and then he'll pull you back out. Okay? I've been doing this a long time. All right. I remember when I was talking like this back a while back and that girl was still saying the other stuff. Now, her and one other dude that's over here have changed. They have changed. I'm going to run down a history class here in a minute, and it's not just going to be me. I think I'm going to bring some people who really do this when it comes to history. And we're going to talk. And we're going to find out the significance of these people that just keep popping up and people don't understand it. I asked a question back in 2000 and it was actually in one of my prayers because I kept seeing it pop up real low at that time. It was like maybe 2012. And I was like, Father, why? And that's just been gnawing and gnawing and gnawing at me. No. Oh, you do? Mm-mm. Okay, well, send me the proof. Send me the proof. Send me the proof. You got the email. Send me the proof. Felicia@FeliciaLockhart.com or info@FeliciaLockhart.com. Send me the proof because I know her sister Maya works for Hillary. She's one of her assistants, one of her aides. GP, did you just call me a hoe? I'm not a hoe. I know you're not in my chat jumping bad like that. No, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. Now, I'm gonna give you a chance to apologize if that's not what you meant. Wow. Do I have any mods in here right now? Any mods in the house? Hey, Max Vision remote viewing class. How are you? Haven't seen you in a long time. High Plains Drifter, drinking tea. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, because I'm not going in on nobody else. You know, I'm tired of going in on people. I was called a bitch. I was called all kind of stuff over there on BitChute. I was on a panel and a white gentleman decided to call that to me. I have more than a backbone. And I'm not sensitive, GP. I guarantee you your page ain't a real one. I guarantee you your page ain't a real one because you are sent here with a purpose. Yeah, you are. This is my page. I say what I want. Nonetheless, what we know for sure. There you go. There you go. See how that works? See how that works? Just get rid of you because you are a spammer. That's all good. So you guys, his wife and he went to school together. I pulled up a little video a while back. Thank you to the person who just sent the Cash App. I appreciate you. I thank you. You did not give me permission to use your name, but I appreciate you. We're about to get out of here, you guys. I'm already 40 minutes over the time that we said we was going to be done. There is so much information. So much information about this thing that's happening here. Do you realize, okay, let's take the women and the people that they're flooding over here like this out of the picture, okay? Let's just do that. Do you guys know who the Nagas are? Nagas. Look them up, and then look up where they're from. And then I'm going to have some people, one person specifically, come on, and we're all going to talk. And this one gentleman, you guys have seen him before. It's Judge Joe, but he has so much wealth of knowledge, just a wealth of knowledge. And I would love for him to come and to share some of that knowledge with us, his historic knowledge. You guys enjoy him when he comes, but he is unbelievable. Yep. They're blue. There's some blue ones over there. Yeah. Yes, Go Bunny. Yes, Max. Yep. Blue. Oh, yeah, he is. G.A. Bunny, he really is. We had a conversation about 5 or 6 months ago, and this very topic of those individuals popped up. And when I tell you, it just, my whole top of my head blew open because it was like, this is what I've been asking about. This is why I asked for that knowledge to be given to me. And I was like, Father, please show me what's up with these people. What's up with them? That's what I kept saying. What is going on? And why are they so prevalent now? I just couldn't understand it. It is Georgia Bunny. Georgia. Okay, anyway. No, we're not going to sing. Da, 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 da. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. But I do love those old songs. Hey, off the topic, on the topic, not the topic, but here, we're going to try this. I want to have one of those nights where we can all come up here, especially to those of us. We can go do it on the Lockhart Perspective. And this is what we are going to do one of the nights very soon here, for our members. Let's have a karaoke night. Dun, dun, dun. We're going to do it. Let's have it. But I want to have him and then Ronnie come on. I would love to have them together because Ronnie is, boy, he has got some knowledge when it comes to history and some of the stuff that he knows that I really don't just get the chance to. Thank you, Susan. I don't really get the chance to just let him just sometimes when he hits me in the head with all of his knowledge and information, it takes me about 3 weeks to recover. And then after I'm recovered, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Here we go. It's like, here we go. I'm ready for more. Then he'll bust me in the head again with some more knowledge and information. And it's the same way that it is with Judge Joe Brown. He hits me with the knowledge and information. I'm like, okay, you shake it off. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's go. Give me some more. I can take it. Because what I love is people to challenge what I thought I knew. I love that. I love for you to challenge me with what I thought I knew. But anyway, this has been Don't Believe Me. Don't believe me? Let Twitter or X speak. That's what this has been. Every time I try to chat, it throws me a commercial. It does. Oh, you guys. I'm sorry. Well, we're going to get out of here. And again, I want to thank our online individual who has given to us today for the online donation that came from Christina Laud with the super sticker. You guys, do not be shy. You can give as little as $1 if you choose to take part in the super chat or the super sticker. I think it goes as low as it wants you to go. Definitely true. There's so much that we cannot see with our eyes. That's absolutely true, GA. So if you want to give and you want to do it with a super sticker, you can definitely do that. If you decide that you want to do it with a super chat and you say something, I will definitely make sure that I read your super chat starting next week. That's what we're going to do. If you have something that you really want to get heard by the people and to go into the public domain of our videos that we publish, all you got to do is just send your super sticker, super chat, and we'll definitely make sure that we highlight your super chat and we read it aloud. Okay. We are going to leave right now, you guys, but thank you so very much for allowing me to come and bring some of this to you. There's so much more that we could go into. I do have something that I'm putting up over on, I really don't think I want to take it to BitChute. I actually had to take those comments away from people having the ability to make comments over there, because that's where I was getting called all the names that start with an N and end with an R, where I was getting called all kinds of stuff. And I honestly just couldn't freaking take it anymore. The childishness is unbelievable what goes on sometimes. So I don't necessarily allow comments over there, which means we're going to see the views plummet increasingly on BitChute, but it's okay. It's okay. I'd rather have that. The Rumble page, if I put this one up, you guys can go on ahead and you guys can look at it over there. Okay. You guys can go over there and you guys can put it over and you guys can watch it. Let's see. Baal controls frequencies. Think EMP and MK Ultra. Vance's wife has served on the board of Gates. Gates. Let me see this I love useful knowledge because it's all useful. You say useless. I say useful. Has served on the board of the Gates Cambridge Alumni Association. I believe it all. I remember. I believe it all. A lot of that are bots, Felicia. Remember, it's just so. It gets exhausting. You know what I mean? I'll be 60 in a month or so here in September. And it just gets so exhausting, GA. It just gets so exhausting. You know, it just, and my sister Sandy will tell you. I mean, it's just like, it's bad. So now I said, forget it. Who cares about their comments? There's a few people that come from over here that mostly just, probably right now are just looking at BitChute, and that's cool. And they used to make really awesome comments, things that meant something. But when you're getting called out of your name and stuff like that, where it takes you out the box. Just recently, a man on a panel called me, this guy, he called me a black bee. And I thought to myself, no, I actually let him have it. I thought to myself, who does he think he's talking to? Then after I thought, it's all of a sudden, I was back in California for a moment where I was raised. I mean, I took off everything. I was like, wait a minute. I took off the doctor. I took off the earrings. I started rubbing my face with Vaseline so that if I get hit in this fight, I was like, if I get hit in this fight, you're going to come up with a knuckle full of Vaseline. Let's go. I told him, who in the blippity blip do you think you talking to? You blinked and blanked and blank. I said, yeah. Somebody said, oh my God, are you saying that? I said, yeah, that's me. See, y'all thought I was the other kind of, no, I'm Peter of the bunch. Like I say all the time. I say it all the time. Over on Lockhart Perspective. If you want somebody who ain't cussing, well, that's going to be Mr. Ronnie. But me, you get me in a fight, we going in. I'm going to fight my best to defend myself. I'm not going to start nothing, but I'm doggone sure not going to. This man called me a black bee publicly. I said, oh, it's on and popping. He called me a bee publicly. I said, oh, okay, it's on and popping now. You cut up in public, I'm going to take you out in public. I just could not believe that. But to be candid with you, it is time out for that kind of ignorance. If we're all sitting on a panel, Peter Lockhart, if we're all sitting on a panel, we really need to be honest and treat people with respect. I'm not going to call anybody out of their name, but I'm darn sure not going to let somebody that I'm being respectful to try to do that to me. You know what I mean? It's like, gee willikers, sir. Are you kidding me right now? Yeah, they do. We all do, right? Right, Damien? The world needs Christ consciousness vibration. Absolutely. Lots of MSM with slit eyes off and on. People are looking in the mirror when they are name calling. It shows their lack of intelligence. Yeah, he was something else, Right. Yeah. And so that's absolutely true, GA. To me, it's like, you don't pick on people. And if you're going to pick on somebody, don't bring a Q-tip to a jousting. If you're going to come and you're going to step because you think that I'm, Dr. Felicia Lockhart, you have no idea what I went through in my lifetime. You don't know what shapes and frames me. You don't know who I am. All you know is it seems like the topic. Oh, I remember what topic we were talking about. I don't think it was Jasara Nasara. I think we were talking about, Sandy, what was the guy and I, what were we trying to explain? It was Monograph, myself, and a few other people on the panel. And the guy decided to take a pot shot at me. I guess he must have known that Monograph was not the one. So he decided to hit me, the other September baby. And when he did, I was like, oh, whoa. And Monograph looked, I looked, we all looked, Monograph popped off, a whole bunch of people popped up. I was like, okay, that's it. The screen just dropped and it was just this guy. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? No, you didn't just say that to me. But it was just a mess. It was just a mess. So nonetheless, it probably won't go over on BitChute. Okay. It probably will not go on BitChute. But it will more than likely go on that really deserted page that starts with a rumble. Okay. That's what we'll do. We'll put it over there. No, he wasn't from India. He was a white guy from, I think he said he was from Kentucky at the beginning of the conversation. And what we were just talking about was the fact that your social security number and the number on your birth certificate, they were all saying, well, it's not true. And I was saying, well, I don't want to do it, but it doesn't mean it's not true. Okay. Yeah, J Bunny. Monograph and I were on a show a few weeks ago. We were panel members, panel guests. It wasn't our show. It wasn't his show, wasn't mine, but we were panel guests. And we were talking about that topic. And we weren't saying that, that we had done it, but we were saying that it does exist. And yes, they have made some changes because a lot of people were running around doing this. And we weren't co-signing for it. We were just saying, hey, to the host, because the host was like, I've never heard of that. Well, he had another guy that was on the panel with us. And this guy just, this guy went in on me. And I just thought, wow, this is a mess. This is a mess. So anyway, I love each and every one of you guys. I want you guys to remember to take care of yourselves, because if you don't take care of you, you can best believe ain't nobody else going to do it. You know what I mean? And lately in my life, I've just come to these new realizations. The closer I get to my next birthday, I just realize there is a lot more to life. Sometimes we can just hope against hope that people are going to treat us good in our families and in our lives, and that everything is going to be okay if we just keep turning the other cheek, and if we just keep letting everybody say what they want. The goodness is going to come. No, what's going to happen is you're going to leave here. The bad guy's still going to be here. The mean people are still going to be here. So the best thing for you to do is take care of yourself first. And if you take care of yourself, you'll automatically rid yourself of the individuals who have those low vibrational tones, those individuals whose electricity is just completely waning down, and all they do is drain you of your energy. Okay. That's the truth. They will still be here and you will be gone, because the stress that it takes, to actually deal with people who are wicked like that is very, very draining. And it takes you out of your place. So this is my lifestyle now. Speak up. When somebody offends, you can do it respectfully. Speak up for yourself. All right. If somebody puts their hands on you, shove them to the ground and get out of there. Okay. Subdue them and run. All right. Get out of there. Get to safety. Don't let people step on you and crap on you and treat you like trash simply because they believe that you're going to turn the other cheek. Stop turning the other cheek. Eventually, you only have 4 cheeks. Okay. And eventually, once they've gone to the ones below your waist and they've kicked those, then there's nothing left. Get out of there. Run. Move them out of the way. Shove them to run. Clear the path, and get out of there. But you've got to take and protect yourself. Because if you don't take and protect yourself, then those individuals will pull and drain. And then the little ones that are near you that really honestly do need you won't have you. Remember to please take care of my friend. When I see you again, I'm going to ask you, did you take care of my friend? Because my friend is you. I love you all. Peace. Hey everyone, it's me, Felicia, of the Lockhart Perspective and Headlines with a Voice. I want to tell you a little secret. This is what I used to do, because I don't do it anymore. I would go to the store, buy the barbecue sauce, pour it inside of a bowl, put a whole bunch of different spices, a dash of brown sugar, a dash of maple, and a dash of mustard, stir it all around, and everybody would be like, oh my gosh, this is the best, this is the best. But I was exhausted after all of that, and a lot of times I couldn't remember how many dashes of what I put in it. But I don't have to do that anymore, because now I just go to Judge Joe Brown's website and I order his 3-pack of bottled barbecue sauce. It is by far the best, and I do mean the best barbecue sauce I've ever eaten. And when you go to his website and you order his 3-pack, you'll see exactly what I mean. Head on over to jjbbbbq.com and order Judge Joe Brown's barbecue sauce. You'll be glad you did, and you're going to tell me about it. I know you will. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you